Today on Judge Alex. Being her best friend was a big job.
I don't call her Talisa. I call her Big Booty Judy. She's on YouTube. Shaking her booty.
But then their relationship turned into one big mistake.
She was telling me that her bank was messing up with her last transaction or whatever. She really needed to pay her bills or else, they were going to get in trouble. And I was like, okay, fine. And she was like, well, if I wrote you the check, could you cash it for me?
You said she didn't have any money.
Mm-mm.
So whose check is she writing?
Sugar daddies.
Today, does Judge Alex hit the sweet spot in this case?
So this same guy gave her 3 blank checks.
And she had to sign his signature on them.
Can we do a handwriting?
Did you steal his checks?
As a cop, he stood up for the law. As a trial lawyer, he fought for the truth. And as a criminal court judge, he commanded authority. Now, he returns to preside over America's courtroom. Real cases, real people, real judge. Judge Alex. Courtney Nelson is suing her former best friend Talisa Robinson for $2,379 because she claims Talisa gave her checks to go shopping. The checks bounced, and she was left with a huge debt. Talisa Robinson says she doesn't owe her former best friend any money, as the checks she gave her for the shopping spree weren't hers, and therefore Courtney needs to go to the owner of the checks to collect the debt.
All right. This court is now in session. Honorable Judge Alex Ferrer presiding.
Okay, thank you. Please be seated. Miss Nelson, you are suing your former best friend, Miss Robinson, because you say that she gave you some checks for the two of you to go shopping, and the checks bounced and left you with a big debt. Is that right?
Correct.
And Miss Robinson, you say that those weren't your checks, they were given to you, and so you're not responsible for the fact that they bounced.
Correct.
Okay. All right. What happened here, Miss Nelson?
First, I'd like to start off by saying I don't call her Talisa. I call her Big Booty Judy.
You call her what?
Big Booty Judy.
You call her Big Booty Judy.
Yeah.
So her name is Judy to you because she has a big booty?
Pretty much. Yes.
Okay. So how long has she been calling you Judy?
Basically since she first met me.
How long ago is that?
About almost 2 years now.
She's on YouTube.
She's on YouTube?
Yes, she's on YouTube.
Well, I think everybody's on YouTube, but why are you on YouTube?
For her booty.
Okay, wait a minute. Explain this to me. She's on YouTube doing what?
Shaking her booty.
Shaking her booty?
Yes.
There's a video of that.
There's videos with S.
There's videos of that.
Yes.
And what exactly do you do posting videos of you shaking your booty on YouTube?
Dance.
Well, why? What's...
I love to dance. Dancing is a great way to relieve stress, lose weight, have fun.
So you're doing this for therapeutic
Show 'em,
reasons?
Judy.
Yeah. This is a family show.
That's probably the only time I'm ever going to say no. So now the two of you are good friends.
Were
good friends. The two of you were good friends. Mm-hmm. And what happens?
We went to the club and, she disappeared on me. I was kind of scared, I was like, oh, snap. So when I found her, she was outside throwing up, and I was freaking out. Yeah, I was freaking out. I was like, oh, I know you can hold your liquor. What's going on? Did you drink? I don't remember. And so when we went to get my spare key from my car, she was telling me that she was pregnant. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. She was thinking about abortion, and I'm really against abortion. I was like, well, why don't you give it up for adoption? If you need anything, I'll be here for you. And so I was there for her every day, the emotional turmoil that all that took for her.
So you carried your baby full term and then gave her up for adoption?
Yes.
And she was there for you the whole way, helping you out?
Really, she was there through everything. The
good.
Hospital stays,
that's a good
family
friend.
drama and everything. She was a great friend.
Okay. So when does it start taking a turn to the south because you're here?
Sugar daddies.
Sugar daddies?
What is?
They're not sugar daddies.
Who has the sugar daddies? You or Big Booty Judy?
They're not sugar daddies.
Judy has the sugar daddy.
Benefactors.
Oh, wait.
Whatever you want to call it.
Time out.
They're not sugar daddies.
Time out. Okay, you call them what?
They're not sugar daddies, they're benefactors.
Benefactors. Okay.
AKA sugar daddy.
They're only sugar daddies if you sleep with them, and I don't even sleep with men. So
Yes, she does.
No.
Wait.
No,
Hold on.
Whatever.
Stop.
Oh, were you there?
Stop. Let's get to the distinction between benefactor and sugar daddy. You're telling me that sugar daddies give you money because you sleep with them.
You sleep with them.
But benefactors give you money because what?
You're basically like, you're arm candy.
Arm candy.
Yeah.
So you're like an escort. Like
Who
you
sleep
go
with
to,
men?
Huh?
Who sleep with men? That's what escorts do. They go out, wine, dine, sleep.
I think she's claiming she's a legitimate escort who just accompanies men to some event.
Sorry.
Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Exactly what I'm saying.
So then I have a follow-up question, because now the YouTube videos are making sense. Do you use the YouTube videos of you doing your big booty Judy routine to get guys to call you?
No, I don't.
She just puts it on her profile.
Okay, so guys call you, these benefactors.
It starts off as emailing.
Meeting online.
Okay, so they communicate with you on email.
Yeah.
And their interest is to have you alongside them when they do what?
It depends. It could be a formal dinner. It could be a ball or things like that. Just they want somebody to take with them.
In the last 10 months, she ain't went nowhere with no man.
How would you
I was with her every day.
But she still had benefactors?
Please, when she got pregnant, her benefactors weren't giving her no money because she was sure using my dimes to pay for everything.
Coming up, is Talisa really running a scam?
There were multiple checks.
It was 3.
3 checks.
They were mailed to her house because her address is on there.
Can
and
we
it's got
do
his
a
name on the top.
handwriting test,
She
please?
signed them.
Her address is on the check
Yes.
with
Yes.
his name,
Yes.
but he doesn't live with you.
No, he lives in New York.
Did you open an
supposedly.
account in his name?
And later, Courtney was there for Talisa in her time of need. But where is Talisa when Courtney needs her most?
You find out the checks have bounced. You try to contact your friend. She's not getting you the money. According to her, she's got other things to do than help you get out of a $20,
That's
$40
exactly
debt.
what she said. I have better things to do. I have other things on my mind. And yet I'm sitting here with the bank calling my house about checks and we need you the money. People call me every day.
Judge Alex is back with a case of Courtney Nelson, who's suing her former best friend, Talisa Robinson, for $2,379 in debts because she says Talisa wrote her bad checks and never repaid the money she owed. But Talisa Robinson says the checks were given to her by a friend. Therefore, Courtney is going after the wrong person to repay the debt.
The two of you are hanging out. She has benefactors. And where does it go?
It was around the end of, it was in November, and you know, the holidays is coming up. Well, she was telling me that her bank was messing up with her last transaction or whatever from whoever. And I was like, okay. And she was like, she really need to pay her bills or else, you know, they were gonna get in trouble. And I was like, okay, fine. And she was like, well, if I wrote you the check, could you cash it for me? And give me the money so I can pay, you know, her cell phone, her light. I was like, okay, sure, that's what's up. So I was like, we're only gonna do one, because if it bounced, you know, you ain't get no more checks.
Wait. You said she didn't have any money. So whose check is she writing?
Sugar daddies. Oh, my bad. Benefactor.
So she had checks from guys.
Yes, she had the man.
Do these guys give you blank checks?
Yes.
Blank checks.
Yes.
It ain't that blank. At the top of these checks, it has his name, her address.
Let me see what you have there. Okay. How much money do you make a year from these benefactors?
It depends.
Thousands.
A month. Let's go with a month. An average month.
An average month, anywhere from $6,500 to $10,000, depending.
$6,500 to $10,000 a
And
month
she doesn't
from
sleep with
guys who
anybody.
just want you to accompany them to dinner or to some event.
Whatever.
Seriously.
Seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously.
There's no way I'm gonna shell out $10,000 for that.
So you're saying she gave you a check, and you guys were, in your complaint, you said you guys were going shopping. You said
Yeah,
we
we
went
blew the
shopping.
money together.
Oh, no.
We blew the money together.
No. There's a difference. Blowing together means I get a whole bunch. No. She was like my mother. She was like, well, I'll buy this and we'll buy this.
That's a lie.
Wait. Hold on, because it sounds
Anyway.
like there's more than just one check. There were
three.
multiple checks?
It was 3.
3 checks?
3 checks.
From the same guy?
Yes.
So this same guy gave her 3 blank checks.
And she had to sign his signature on them.
Can we do a handwriting
Did you
test?
steal his checks?
No.
No, they were mailed to her house because her address is on there.
Can
and
we
it's got
do
his
a
name on the
handwriting
top.
test,
She
please?
signed this. She signed them.
Her address is on the check
Yes.
with
Yes.
his name,
Yes.
but he doesn't live with you.
No, he lives in New York.
Did you open an
supposedly.
account in his name?
No. Supposedly they have a joint account.
This is the same account that I wrote that my down payment for my car came from.
So you've been using that account for, this guy's a good customer. This
Pretty much,
benefactor.
he's very loyal.
He's been,
He bought her a car.
he's been around for a while, I take it.
He put the down payment on my car written on the same account that the checks came
That
from.
must have been some event you went to with him.
Yeah, the bedroom is a
So
bit.
she had these checks. She said they're from my benefactor, and let's go on a shopping spree. So you go from Augusta, Georgia to Atlanta, Georgia on kind of a getaway.
Yeah.
And what do you think how do you think you're going to pay for this?
She's gonna pay for it.
So she says, I've got checks.
Yes.
Okay.
She was like, let's go. I was like, who's gonna pay? She was like, I got this.
During the time of your friendship, during the time of your relationship, has she paid for other things with checks from her benefactors?
Yes, actually, yes.
So you've been through this before, and there's never
Yes.
been a problem?
Yes.
Okay. So you go to Atlanta, and you guys go shopping, and what do you buy?
I bought a pair of shoes, a jacket, and I think I bought a shirt and 2 skirts. She got some jeans. She needed jeans. She got a jacket. She got a pair of shoes. And we didn't really spend that much money up there. We were just going up there just cause.
What was the instruction from this guy as to how you should use those checks?
He told me to use them for what I needed and what I wanted, because he also knew what I was going through as well.
How wealthy is this guy?
Billionaire, millionaire status.
He got
millionaire
bad.
status.
Coming up next, is Tully's benefactor really bogus?
This millionaire, billionaire who's rolling in dough bounced a $200 check.
Pretty much.
Pick up the phone and call millionaire, billionaire benefactor and say, hey, your $200 check bounced. Can I get the money? So
She didn't do that.
What happened? Why didn't you do that?
Judge Alex returns with a case of Courtney Nelson, who's suing her former best friend, Tullysa Robinson, for $2,379 in debts because she says Tullysa wrote her bad checks and never paid her the money back. But Tullysa Robinson says she's not responsible to repay Courtney's debt because the checks didn't belong to her.
So this guy gives you 3 blank checks and says, use it for whatever you need.
Yes.
And you go and you fill out the 3 checks over a short period of time. You give them to her. She deposits them in the account, takes money out, because I guess some vendor's not going to take a check from some guy who who's not there.
Exactly.
Right? So you now are using all this cash. So when do you find out there's a problem?
After the third one registered, it had said that the second one was in the negative. I was like,
How
negative?
much was the second check?
The second check was $1,100.
And what about the first check? Did it
The
clear?
first check was $200.
And-
The first check did bounce, but at the same time, it had bounced for $200, but I had deposited $200 in right after I did the check, so I thought it had bounced because I had took the money out too fast. Sometimes if it hasn't
It's
been
not
processed.
my fault.
So this millionaire, billionaire who's rolling in dough bounced a $200 check.
Pretty much.
That's not true. What was
Did they
happening?
bounce?
That check up there says bounce, return to sender, which means bounce.
So what happens? Now you find out the checks didn't bounce. That's easy. Pick
And-
up the phone and call millionaire, billionaire benefactor and say, hey, your $200 check bounced. Can I get the money? So
She didn't do that.
What happened? Why didn't you do that?
1, he's out of the country. 2, it's not my problem. I gave her the information to get in contact with him.
As you can
From
see in
there,
that, matter of fact, I had that
From
too.
there, I was done with it.
You were done with it.
Yeah.
Well, you have the stuff you bought in Atlanta. She's got a
She
bill
got
for
the stuff she bought in Atlanta and the stuff she bought in Augusta when we went to the mall there too.
and she also has the bill for it and the bill for the stuff you bought. She didn't win. She would have won if she got the stuff from Atlanta and no bill. But she got the stuff from Atlanta. She got charged for the stuff she bought, and she got charged for the stuff you bought. You just walked away like a
No,
flower.
mine was paid for in cash.
No, it was
Yeah.
different cash that
Cash that she took out of the ATM.
Yes, because she was broke as a joke.
And you are a joke.
So is your face. But anyway, like
So
I
is
said,
your face and your
But I'm
body.
saying-
Okay, 12-year-olds, back to me.
Coming up, Will Talisa stick by her story when Judge Alex lays it on thick?
Here's what I see. You give her an email address, and
it's fake.
She sends an email to the address you give her for millionaire, billionaire, benefactor. And it gets kicked back. No such account. No such email. Now, why would you give her a bad email? Obviously, that's the way you get a hold of this guy.
Judge Alex is back with a case of Courtney Nelson, who's suing her former best friend, Talisa Robinson, for $2,379 because she claims Talisa gave her bad checks to go shopping. The checks bounced and left her with a huge debt. But Talisa Robinson says she doesn't owe Courtney any money, as the checks that bounced weren't hers.
You find out the checks had bounced. You try to contact your friend. She's not getting you the money. According to her, she's got other things to do than help you get out of a $2,200
That's exactly
debt.
what she said. I have better things to do. I have other things on my mind. There's so much going on. And yet I'm sitting here with the bank calling my house about checks and we need you the money. People call me every day. And the one person who said, oh, I got you, I'm going to fix it. You know I'm not going to let you out to dry like that. Is not even found. Never home, never answer phone, cell, Facebook, nothing. But she's there for me, though. She's my best friend, though.
All right, Ms. Robinson, you have anything else to add to this? Because here's what I see. You give her an email address, and
it's fake.
She sends an email to the address you give her for millionaire, billionaire, benefactor. And it gets kicked back. No such account. No such email. Now, why would you give her a bad email? Obviously, that's the way you get a hold of this guy, because you said it all starts with emails and text messages, or emails and text messages. So why would you give her an account that does not exist?
I did not give her a bogus email. I gave her the information he gave me. And now, keep in mind, it's the same information that I have been using talking to him from July.
And then
from July of 2011 up to today.
And it was never sent this thing about it being fake.
So why didn't you bring a statement from this guy saying that there was some mistake in his accounting? You're still in touch with him. I know he's out of the country. The guy's probably in Paris or something. But there's an email. He could have emailed a statement. Why didn't you do that? Or why didn't you contact him now? It's been a long time. Why don't you contact him and say, hey, listen, my friend's taking me to court. You can make this right. You gave me these blank checks. Every one of them bounced. All you got to do is transfer the money so I can give it to her. You can do that from outside the country. So why haven't you done any of that?
She doesn't care.
I'll tell you why you haven't done any of that. Because this is a scam. You either applied for a credit card in his name, had it sent to your address, which explains why it has his name and your address, and then when the checks come in and the credit card comes in, you run it up until he goes running and claims identity fraud. Or maybe he did set up a joint account with you, but he didn't authorize you to do the checks, because a guy who's going to authorize you to do the checks would sign them. You know, it's stupid, but he would have signed them. He wouldn't have said, go forge my name on the check. So what happens is you give bad checks to her that you know are either stolen or fraudulent. She gets hit, and you're happy to walk away with it. You committed a fraud, so you owe her $2,379, and you get the benefit of keeping the goods.
All right.
Judge Alex has ruled in favor of the plaintiff and has ordered the defendant to pay her $2,379.
I think the judge's ruling was bogus. I think this whole thing is bogus. I think she's bogus. I think everything is bogus right now.
I feel like I am finally getting what I deserve, the money back and everything straight, and I hope that she just drops it.